For the most realistic steering system available on the market, look no further than Sim Steering from Leo Bodnar. Designed and hand-built at the home of British Motorsport's Silverstone circuit, it's extensively used by professional driver training centres and race teams including Formula 1 since 2010. The high precision and completely linear response coupled with high strength provides the ultimate in realistic steering force feedback. Visit simsteering.com.
What is so important about driving faster than anyone else?
A lot of people go through life doing things badly. Racing's important to men who do it well. When you're racing, it's life. Anything that happens before or after, it's just waiting.
Hello and welcome to Apex Racing TV, coming to you from a very overcast Watkins Glen International Circuit. I'm Alex Simpson. I'm joined in the commentary box today by Brenton O'Brien and Mark Noble for this round 2 of the Sim Racers Asia GT Series. Afternoon, fellas. We say GT Series, but it really is the Z4 Series out there today. A lot of BMWs out there, just a couple of McLarens, and only one rough to be seen, and that's currently being driven by our one and only Mark Noble.
Evening, Alex.
AC at Nobby, how are you? It's actually AC. There's a couple of things that are standing out tonight. There's a couple of dinosaurs that are new to this series from last weekend. Number one, we have actually a Ford GT as well. Mark Lang, our host, is racing that, and Nobby, our other dinosaur, is actually racing for the first time, so it's good to have a bit of variety.
Yeah, good old Ford GT. We've seen it a few times the previous season be able to do the race without stopping, be its fuel efficiency. Does struggle a little bit with outright performance, but might come into play this week. If it can just keep attached to the draft of those faster cars ahead, it might be pulled into play, I would think.
Well, it's good to have a bit of variety. Early practice and early qualifying might suggest otherwise. Mikko Nassi and Fabio Gonzalez were at the top of where we're going to. I can't even find that 17th is the first McLaren MP4 in practice, and qualifies obviously early days, but there's a big difference between the BMWs and other cars at the moment.
Yeah, I think we've seen that in the official series as well, that the Z4 has been particularly quick. Everybody seems to be favouring that at the moment. I think, like anything, it's going to take a little while just to get the performance balance right on iRacing's end, but I'm sure they will.
Well, what it does do though, it sets up for a really exciting race. This is a great track, isn't it? You get in the draft, plenty of passing opportunities here with this configuration of Watkins Glen. And they are racing the same cars. It's just going to encourage close racing.
Yeah, you're right. This is always a fantastic track. I mean, even if they're doing the long layout, you'd have to say we'd be on for a bit of a treat. But the short classic version, like you say, it's almost like a roval, isn't it? You know, just a few turns in there and massive amount of slipstreaming. Obviously, GT3 cars as well. They don't half get sucked up behind as well. So I wouldn't be surprised to see all sorts of people trying to make their way towards the front as well, and it's going to be very difficult for the leaders to break away, and quite quickly I think guys will realise they need to work together to catch back up if ever somebody does try and get a couple of seconds clear. So we've already seen just at the start of the broadcast as well, a few drivers, some familiar names and some not familiar ones as well, putting in the fastest lap so far of qualifying. So I think qualifying, getting a drafting partner is going to be quite key as well today.
Yeah, it is. Last weekend's winner, Mikko Nassi, at the moment second. Only, what is he, 0.013 of a second behind our surprise pole man at the moment, Charles Sierra, who's had a great off-season as we discussed last week in the 26 BMW. New to the season last week, Fabio Gonzalez started third on the grid last week, jumped the start, so paid a penalty there, but still raced hard and had a strong result last week in the end. Coming in, where did he come 11th with the only driver to have 2 pit stops, so it's going to be exciting racing. It's going to be a quick race, 30 laps around here, laps in the 106s, 107s for races. It's not going to take long.
Yeah, we can already see there's guys out there now trying to get a bit of drafting done down this back straight. Just having a look, I think that's Charles himself actually. Looks like he's got a nice draft down there. It's all about whether or not it gets held up in the corners though. You just want to be, I guess you want to start your lap some sort of second back, as Mikko Nassi just sets the fastest time of the session there, takes a provisional pole. One running a little bit wide through the carousel corner, very easy to do. I mean, I have actually turned a few laps in the Z4 myself, not this week, but previous week the official series was here as well, so
yeah, well, as you know, with this configuration set at the start with the weather, it's there's going to be plenty of grip and plenty of fast times out there. It could just come down to pit stops, couldn't it? It's how your pit entry is, how your pit exit is, your in lap, your out lap, whether you're in traffic when you come out. It's just little things like that. It could make the difference of a lot of positions tonight.
Yeah, exactly that. That is going to be probably the most important thing, your in and your out lap, I would say. Get them right. You could have 2 or 3 places hitting marks in the box, so get the service time done as quickly as possible. What are we expecting as far as tyre strategy goes? Do we think drivers will just leave the same tyres on? 30 laps today, it's not too long. Tyres probably last the distance?
Yeah, not too long. I'm not sure they'd want to stay in the pits for anything longer than they need to. I would imagine that they will have to just take on a bit of fuel. It won't be too much, and get out there as quick as they can without needing tyres.
I've just seen a name flash on screen that I think put in a stalling job last week, surprised a few people. Markus Lendermann. See, just explain to us what happened last week and why he impressed so much, please, Brendan.
Yeah, young fella. I'm not sure which country he's representing. I know he's from Germany, but started 4th on the grid, I think, and just really took the pace to Mikko early and consistently. Was in a good battle with Dongwu Gang, I believe it was, and at some stage got through him. And I think it was about lap 23 last week, there was accusations of Mikko blocking young Marcus. I'm not sure it was necessary, but a strong, solid drive. A young fella with a lot of potential, obviously, and he's going to raise a few eyebrows for the rest of the series, and I wouldn't be surprised if he sneaks a win in here or there.
Yeah, Mikko again setting another fastest time, so he's getting that traffic full in his favour at the moment. He's setting these new personal bests.
Yeah, he's just showing consistent laps, and that's his strength, isn't he? He's fast, consistent, stays out of trouble and clear air. But I've got to take note that have a bit of a brag here that the amount of Australians who've joined the series tonight. What did I say before? I think we've got 9 Aussies in the field. And that doesn't include Tobias Cherney, who has joined the Australian team as well. So strong Australian contingent there this week, so hopefully that'll keep up.
You're going to have to change it from Sim Races Asia to some sort of Pacific series, I think, aren't they? So everyone can be included in that.
Oh, I think in these politically correct days, AC, I think they class Australia as part of Asia. At least some people in our government like to think so.
Just having a look at some guys just trying to set time out there. I mean, qualifying extremely tight. There's a lot of cars out on track at the moment as well, so you have to say it is. I think the grid is all going to be about picking up on the drafting partner that you're after and you want the most. So if you've got your head screwed on, you find where Mikko is at the moment, and you get following him, I think.
I think you're probably right, but the catch here is it's not just as easy as getting into the draft, is it? You got to be in the right spot to do it, and obviously with the right person. But going through the carousel, is it the S's? You don't want to be too close to someone there because you just lose all your downforce, and it does affect your entry speed onto that long back straight.
Yeah, exactly that. So as we said, I think it's you want to start off, give yourself about a 1.5 second gap, don't you, to the car as you're crossing the line, so you can just about get the draft. You get the full advantage the whole way around and hope that they're quick enough to stay in front.
Well, that sounds about right to me. What have we got? About 6 minutes to go, and as you said, Mikko Nassi on provisional pole, 105.561. Chelsea Sierra 105.674. And if you just throw a blanket over the top 6, can't you really? It's just the difference between 0.5 and 5th and 6th Paolo Martins and Yaron Wong is 6/1000ths of a second. It's such a close race. Close qualifying. It's going to be a great race, I'm sure, so long as they stay clean.
Yeah, that's the thing. I think the first few laps, guys will probably be jostling for position just a little bit. Want to try and get some early positions, but I think the guys realise 30 laps is quite a long race, and they can work their way up steadily. Don't have to rush it in those first few laps. We'll be on for a really good race out there today.
Yeah, it really is becoming a BMW benefit. I'm just looking at first on BMW, 16th, 17th. Our one and only rough contestant, Mark Noble, our fellow commentator, he's going to win the rough division. There's no doubt about that. 31st at the GT, Mark Lang down in 32nd with nobody behind him. But yeah, let's have a look at the times. 29th place from New Park in the BMW 107.7. And we're talking 2.2 seconds between first and 30th. That's close.
Looks like my trading paints is doing its nut at the moment, so apologies for those that are tuning in, wondering why the cars keep flashing white. As new drivers jump out onto the circuit and register and get a qualifying time, it goes and refreshes on the paints again.
Well, I've done my best, boys.
How was the track out there? Is it hard to get a clear track from you, or what's the track conditions like? And how was your lap? Or how was one of your laps?
Mate, very hard to get a bit of clear track there. They're just everywhere.
Like what I'm seeing, what was shown at the moment, just finished. Yeah, they're going 3 wide down the back straight to try and get their best lap. You've got to be at the right place at the right time, don't you?
Yeah, we just saw that on stream as well. I think that's Shane Reynolds, and was that Marcus there as well? I'm not 100% sure of all the new liveries.
Shane, Marcus and Warren. I'm not sure whether we've seen Warren before in this series either. I think it might be his first time as well, so if it is, welcome to him. Another Aussie in the series, that's what we like to see.
Seems like we've got Jake Burton behind Tobias Cherney here. Just a few weeks ago they were in a similar situation with V8 Supercar, and all of a few minutes ago as well at Road Atlanta. Must have jumped into some new supersonic aircraft to get them all the way up here in time.
Well, with the Dayco sponsorship, they can afford their own private Learjet, so and that looks very much like that was a organised move with Tobias just ducking off there and letting Jake on his way. So Jake's position's 14th now. His best time's a 106.2. I'm interested to see what kind of difference that's made. You can't help but notice there that Paul Rogers in position 4, which is fantastic, has tucked into the back of that, so let's see if he's improved as well.
Yeah, not quite there from Paul. That's a 1:06.2 that time by, so 4 tenths off of where he was at.
We could just jump on board Tobias now. Jake and Tobias have swapped over with the draft. Probably confident we'll know what we do here. Jake will just go straight on and let Tobias through. Tobias, 12th position. I'd say he'd be disappointed in that at the moment with a 1:06.1. There would go Jake, yes. And, they're working well as a team, these two.
Yeah, the only trouble is Tobias has got no draft down this straight as well, and that can be just as important.
Yeah.
So the whole track does lead to drafting, so...
I dare say...
Jake finds himself in 14th as well, so both the guys out there just struggling to get that sort of pace.
Yeah, I don't think Tobias has had much track time here this week. I think his pre-practice warm-up was probably pretty much his only practice for the week, so I think he'll only get stronger.
Yeah, it really doesn't matter too much about the qualifying time. We know it's all going to come down to this race and trying to work your way through the traffic. Timing when you go for your moves. I dare say anybody from the top 15 could probably take this victory today.
Well, with just the 30 seconds to go, it'll be interesting to see which drivers are going to get the chance to get their last lap in and get their timing right with the draft as well, because it does make such a big difference, doesn't it?
Yeah, absolutely huge. I thought Min Park was on for a good one there, tucked up behind Fuji, but he's dropped out of it. Got Jack as well. He looked like he got an amazing draft down the first straight, but unfortunately caught the traffic through the carousel, so that's only going to hold him up. And side by side and a little contact, so definitely nothing going there.
Well, Jack, another Australian unit, seriously well from him. And we've actually got a second rough lobby, unfortunately for him. Riku Alatalo is coming up and finishing his lap as well.
Yeah, we've seen how quick Riku can be. Previous season, I think it was Interlagos, was it not, where he come from the back and up to third or something like that. I'm pretty sure he got a podium, maybe a second. Who knows?
Yeah, put on a display. Unfortunately, he's just he's got the cleanest lap there with the 31st. But he's going to have to be one to watch, isn't he? He's got the racecraft, just probably doesn't have the car.
Yeah, let's see what he can do. Right, final guys just crossing the line at the moment. Let's take a quick look at the provisional standards and see. We'll let you know if it updates at all. But Mikko Nassi does indeed take what looks like pole position, 105.562. Very, very close behind is Charles, followed by Fabio with a 105.7. I mean, this grid is crazy close. Paul Rogers held on to his 4th place as well. Markus Lendermann in 5th. And we've got Dongwoo Kim in 6th, Martins in 7th, Jaron there as well in 8th, Timothy Jackson in 9th, Wongu Kwan in 10th. Brenton, I wonder if you could take it through the rest while I get rid of my iTunes pop-up that's interfering with me.
Yeah, great result for Timothy Jackson and Wong Yu Kwan. I've got a feeling that might be Paul Rogers' highest grid spot in 4th place. What have we got? 11th, Shane Reynolds, a fantastic performance, probably his highest grid spot too, just in front of Tobias Cerny, as we had a look at him working with Jake Burton. They've only been separated by a small amount of time, but just cutting them is Jose Almeida. Jake in 14th, Chandra Yong 15th, Stephen Boucade, Marcus Wong, Kevin Huang Jack VC and Decay Lee down to 35th place. Alex Chung, who arrived late and didn't get a qualifying lap time. So 35 starters, 2 roughs, 1 Ford GT, probably about 3 or 4 McLarens, and the rest is going to be a charge of the BMWs.
Yeah, I think we're in for a little bit of a treat here today. Just a little over 40 seconds before the start of this race.
Wish me luck, boys.
Yeah, good luck. Mark is doing the race while being in the comms box, so we'll try and grab him, see how he does throughout this.
Just keep it
Yeah,
clean.
just grab me
Nobby.
anytime, mate.
Well, it's great that Nobby can do this and actually have a driver's perspective as well, so hopefully it all works out for you. Our poor man still hasn't come to the grid as yet.
Yeah, Mikko always does seem
There
to
he
leave
is.
it a little bit late as he jumps on. Right, lights are coming on. Revs are building. Round 2, GT Series is away. Everybody looks like got off the line really well. No real issues. Mikko coming under a little bit of pressure down into turn 1. He's going to have the inside line, so we should be alright. So Charles around the outside has managed to make it stick, and we've got an accident further back. This could be nasty down there.
Oh, there's a lot of pressure. Jake Burton is in the middle of all that. I saw last Jordan Kingham. There's a lot of there's a lot of damage back there with some cars.
That's the one problem with Watkins and that first lap. If somebody goes coming out of that corner, unfortunately the Armco just pushes you straight back in and you've got nowhere to go.
I think Marcus Wang was involved with that. Paulo Martins, Peugeot. Jake's already left us. So yeah, that's Shane Reynolds. But up at the front, this is a fantastic start. It's good for the race too. Charles Sierra, a fantastic start. Took the outside, and it's Reds on here with the top 3.
Yeah, this pack has broken away quite a lot, and I dare say that the chasing pack have got no chance whatsoever to catch it. So the race is going to be between these guys.
I don't know. There's some genuine pace behind them. Paul Rogers, Markus Lendermann. There's some genuine pace here. I think they could get to it.
I think as long as that pack works together, that second pack, it's got a chance. But
Marcus then on the inside up to 4th, taking Paul. Nice clean move there. Marcus is the quicker driver, and Paul can hang on to that. And then behind them, Dongyu Kim, and Tim Jackson has a fantastic start from 9th on the grid up to 6th. It's the top 9 have got away from 10th position, obviously due to the crash.
yeah, that's what I'm
Jackson's
thinking
fourth.
about. That top 9, that's going to be the ones that are going to be breaking away. The rest of the pack, I think, are going to struggle to catch back up. Have to work together.
Yeah, well, Jackson's just gone on for that second last turn, so he's going to be just on the verge of losing that draft as well. He's going to be quick enough, but there's such a big difference between 9th and 10th here, isn't it? It's a distinct couple of groups.
It looked like it was Tobias Cherney that was caught up in that accident as well. He seemed to be in that sort of hole there at that 12th place.
Yeah, that's about where it was. Jake Burton's already out of the race, but I'll point you to Riku Alatalo. Like we discussed him at Interlagos last year, last on the grid, up to 4th. What was he here on today's grid? 31st on the grid, in a slower car. I think he's just been overtaken, but he's already up to 17th. I think young Jordan's just passed him. Oh, another accident. Who's that? Dongyu Kim, our 6th place. Was he actually? I think he was 4th at the time. He's gone.
Yeah,
He's
massive
hit
crash.
Yeah, just gave it too much onto the edge to the straight, and that's his race is going to be over.
Just
What
buggered that
that's-
up, boys.
Oh, have a talk to us, Tommy.
Just trying to jump back just to see what happened at
Start.
the start. I'm not sure it's going to allow us actually. For some unknown reason, the event doesn't seem to be working. Come on.
You've dropped a bit of pace there, Tommy. Minute 30s, mate. What's happened?
Oh, I was running well, mate. I made a heap of spots up and just lost it into the carousel.
Your car's not damaged.
Nah, mate. Just kept it off the wall.
Alright, we'll get back into it.
Right, that battle up front definitely starting to hot up, I think.
Yeah,
Jackson just puts in the fastest
there's
lap of the race.
There's some dramas here. There's cars pitting, or is it Warren Pickering's pitting already? Who have we got here? Oh, there's carnage on the last turn here. That's some pretty ordinary driving, I must admit. Someone spun. I'm trying to find out who it is. Be Hyung Yong Park is spun, or Chandra Yong spun. I just left it in the pit entry when cars have tried to join. He's still there now, so yeah, that does affect people's races. It's just frustrating, but look up at the front again. They're right there now, aren't they?
Yeah, even with that little gap that formed with one of the drivers coming out just a few laps ago, those the chasing pack are just able to hold on, so I think they're going to form back up in a couple of laps' time.
Well, have a look at this. This is fantastic racing. It's the top 8 from Charles Sierra down to Tim Jackson. This is it's going to come down to who does the best pit entry, pit exit, and traffic. This is where the race is going to be. This is fantastic racing.
Yeah, the one thing we haven't had in the official series is a mandatory pit stop to spice up the race. It's just been a straight out sprint to the end. Getting the strategy right can play a massive win. You don't want to be left out there on your own, the only one lapping while everybody else is working together as a pack that pits a few laps before you. So, you know, do you find yourself a drafting partner, a bit like a, you know, big super speedway, and
we've got a lead change here. Have we got a lead change? I reckon we do. We got Fabio Gonzalez, debutant from last weekend, had the jump start, still came back in 11th. He's just taken over the lead there. I'm confident that he's not going to go anywhere though. I think the chasing pack will still hunt him down. Just trying to get out of the draft. I'm not sure there's much point in that.
yeah, lap 7 of 30 already. This race is flying by. We've only another major crash on the last corner.
Another crash.
Just getting themselves out of the way and then reversing back into the traffic. That's Kevin. Unusual from Kevin. Normally wouldn't do anything like that. No, frustration can creep in though when you just sat there and you can't do nothing. You've got to wait for the traffic to go past, unfortunately. Probably ended his race as well. Car didn't look too bad until he got that rear end shunt.
Yeah, I think we're in for another lead change here. Sierra's gone through second last turn. Yes, he has. Another close move. This is fantastic up the front. I've noticed that our second place man now, Fabio, has a teammate here as well with Jose Armada, both in the same team. So maybe that could come into play later on.
It's great to see a few flags on the top of the roost this time as well.
Yeah, Marisha Mars seasons come through. We thank all those who have done that. Certainly makes our life easier.
It's too early really to be too... Oh, big crash!
Oh, big crash! Oh, this is going to come back. What have we got? Oh, that's terrible. Jose's out. Charles
is out.
Sierra's out. Paul Rogers is out. That's going to throw the cat amongst the pigeons now.
Yeah, I have to say, to me, that looks a case of just a bit of netcode pulling drivers together there. It's unfortunate. Does happen. Can't be avoided sometimes like that. Once you get sucked into each other like that, the server just pulls you closer and closer. And yeah, again, it's the same situation. The Armco's so close, you just got nowhere you can go.
And Dicko Lee, he had nothing to do with it as well. He's been caught up in that as well from 10th place. So he came 24th last week. He had dramas which weren't his fault last week as well. So he's up against it a bit at the moment. His luck's due to change hopefully, but that's split the top 4 up, hasn't it? Lendermann and Mikko Nassi, if they work together, you probably can't see 3rd and 4th Quan and Timothy Jackson. Jacko and Demitov Innovations Motorsports BMW. New livery looks fantastic, just quietly. It's going to be hard yakka for them to catch up now.
Yeah, I have to agree. Very, very tricky. Just those guys are savvy enough that they'll work well with each other to try and build that gap, and then they'll go at it later on. See, it's a bit of a similar situation as to what we had last week with those guys out front. So. But just yeah, all through this pack we're just having a look at people jostling for position, switching lanes down that back straight. Huge amounts of draft given out down there.
Yeah, there is. They've got that car coming up in front of them, but then there's a bit of a gap for that. So yeah, 3rd and 4th are going to have to work themselves out to get onto this. And yeah, Mikko's no fool. He's going to know to work together with Markus to get that lead up. Then have a go at him later on.
Can I ask a question, boys?
You just did. Ask another one now if you want.
Go on, Mark.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, hang on, just going through last time. Do we have to pit, do we?
Yep.
Yeah. Have a look at your fuel. You tell us. How's your fuel?
Yeah. You think the fuel cap is restricted, so you should have to.
No, if you don't need to pit, don't pit. It's not compulsory.
Yeah, we can see Mikko not trying to make any effort to get a move done. He's just sort of staying quite close, using the draft, much like on the ovals. You split the wind resistance between the two cars. Both will go a little bit faster.
Well, they've done a pair of 106 ones, both from Tim Jackson. Fantastic go, Jacko. He's my Demitov teammate. Got a plug there. 106.9, but the significant thing is there, he's now passed Wong Yu Quan for 3rd. So, yeah, let's see if Jacko can turn the wick up. He's quick in this. He's a quick stick. There's no doubt about that. He loves his track, loves his car. I'd love to say he'll catch up to him. I'll be realistic. I think he's going to struggle. But with traffic, I just don't know.
Yeah, it looks like those Ardry as well coming under a little bit of pressure. Lots of different pockets of groups that have formed with the accidents that have happened throughout this race. Guys obviously taking evasive action and using the draft for the cars in front.
Well, compare a 106.4s and a 106.2 for Jacko, so he has made a gain there. So it's got to be hard work, isn't it? But what are we, lap 12, 18 laps to go. Gee, this race is going quick. We're only 15 minutes in. It's going to go very quickly for him.
Yeah, one thing I will say is how sexy that Z4 looks with all of these liveries out there. Some of them absolutely fantastic. Car definitely does paint up beautifully as well. One of the few cars that you can paint the wheels on as well. Seen some guys pimping it up with the chrome wheels out there.
Yeah, Tobias's wheels look fantastic, and Stephen Bocade. There's one that looks fairly ordinary with the bright pink wheels. I'm not going to mention Mark Noble's name, or the fact he drives a rough. But yeah, if you get a chance to have a look at it, wear your sunglasses.
Hold on, let's just switch the camera. There he is.
Yeah, that's he's making a statement for some activists, I'm sure, with those wheels.
Let's get a zoom in as well. We can get right down to the front suspension.
Yeah, no, I've got to look away. Sorry, I'm getting a headache there.
Well, we've got leaders coming up on me.
Yeah, well, it is. You tell us about fuel, Nobby. You're in the car. Do you need to take fuel?
I've got no idea, mate.
Okay.
Just wait for the spotter to give him the indication. 5 laps to go. If you can make it, stick it out.
Or alternatively, if you stop suddenly for no reason, have a look at your petrol gauge. Mark Langen, our Soul GT, which has a disadvantage. He's 17th, which is a great effort for Mark Langen, our host. Started 33rd on the grid. I'll be interested to see where Riku is as well.
Up on the straight.
Yeah, according to my timing as well, Mark's had a pit, so I think he got involved in some of that first lap shenanigans. So, you know, even
he did have a sit early. Yeah, after the first lap. Obviously, Riku, we've obviously missed out the other rough. Riku Alatalo's must be out, so must have gone out early too.
Yeah, so Mark, you still look good for that car class. Not that there is any classes, but you know what I mean.
Well, when it comes
today.
to Nobby, there's certainly no class. You're very correct there.
Oh, you could say he's in a class of his own. Of course, we take the opportunity to hit on our co-commentator while he's in the car, just putting in a little bit of a different spin to this.
Well, there goes Timothy Jackson past Nobby there. 106.4. They're the leaders doing the 106.1, so Jacko's dispatched off our fourth place with Mutant 1. This just leaves Jackson all by himself. Very vulnerable, doesn't it? Yeah, you can't see him catch up with two fellas working against. Very much like the peloton's left and he's been dropped.
Yeah, what he really needs is Mikko to start actually fighting with Markus so they actually hold each other up rather than working together as they are at the moment. Shane Reynolds trying to make up some spots, goes a little bit deep into turn 1. Jose back up here the inside undercuts him. Picks up the draft of Rocky, I believe, in front.
I think I would say there's a lot of chat, maybe unnecessary chat between some of the drivers. I can't imagine. I'd find that very distracting if I was racing.
Both Markus and Mikko get themselves past Mark Lang to put him a lap down.
Yeah, they passed him in a good spot there too, didn't they? It's not going to hold him up at all through the S's here. Yeah, but Jackson's done a 106.3, so he's picked a couple of 2/10s back on our second place man. So we're running out of laps quickly here, 14 laps to go.
Yeah, they're ticking by so fast, it's just crazy. Few battles still going off a bit further down as well. Just looking at one between Fuji.
Well, my information is that the GT3 cars will need to pit. Just every week we get a information sheet from our host, Mark Lendermann. Thank you for that. And he's suggesting that yes, they will need to pit, so that could change things up. Someone coming to the pits here. Who's that? Shane Reynolds. An awful luck this race. Showed some good pace in qualifying too, from 11th on the grid, but it's all gone south since then from Shane, unfortunately.
Yeah, he was in that tricky position. It seems to be anyone from about 10th to about 14th or 15th just got caught in no man's land in that first crash. No time to react to anything, nothing any of the drivers could do. One car unfortunately lost it coming out of there, and yeah, the rest is history.
And I'm not sure that this is what our fourth place man, Myung Kwon, wants He's just about to have a car unlap himself, Polo Martins. I think he needs to be fighting with him there. Maybe just tuck in behind and get the draft. That livery that Paolo's got is it's just a car for Mark Langskin. Both.
Oh, very out of shape there. Not sure who that was. Let's just see. Wasn't Kevin.
No.
For some unknown reason, the overlay doesn't want to jump to the driver. I guess he must be a lap down or something. Who that is? So
this is race on here for the top 3. Tim Jackson's down 2.5 seconds. If he can just pick up another 2.8 of a second, he's going to be in that draft. This could be race on. He's consistently 0.2 of a laps faster than our leaders.
yeah, I'm wondering now if Mikko, let's just jump on board with this battle actually. Mikko's starting to put a little bit of pressure on Markus, showing his nose, causing Markus just to defend the line a little bit.
Well, yeah, 106.6 the last lap for Markus. That's, I'm thinking they must have done something, because that's last 2 laps of 106.6 is his best lap times are 106.1, so significant difference in lap times of 106.4 then compared to
again,
Jackson's 106. Well, Jackson's in the pits now, so this is where it's going to be interesting. To see where he comes out of the pits. Take on a little bit of fuel. I'm not sure if I don't think they'll bother about tyres, but if he can come out clean air, this could be the race.
Yeah, is Mikko going to have a look this time? No, he just stays in that draft. He's just saving the fuel in that draft, letting Markus do the work. He knows that these guys pretty much got a podium guaranteed, I would think, as long as traffic or anything like that doesn't cost them.
Yeah, exactly. Don't know how much fuel they will need. This seem long. Just come out and clear air. See when our leaders come in. They have to be getting close.
Yeah, Markus in. Mikko stays out, so it's all about going to be for about this in lap for Mikko now. He's going to need to absolutely nail his marks, hit every corner.
Well, that's surprising because they were working together well, but Mikko's going to, well, it'd be great to be on board Mikko's car now and see what he can do with his lap time.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye. I wonder if he'll want to cover him straight off as well and jump in, or whether he'll go for another couple of laps.
Markus just out of the pits now has come out. Yeah, he's come out well ahead of Tim Jackson. So a gain there for the car that pits later. It could just be how his entry and jump on board the leader.
Yeah, 1.1. No, it's only 0.2 seconds for the stationary stop difference, so it's not a lot at all. Yeah, Mikko's coming in here, I think this time, yeah, keeps it tight through the final turn, gets it brake down to that 72 kilometers an hour pit lane speed limit. We're looking for his box, he knows exactly where that is, it's the final one. One of the advantages of being the pole sitter, you know exactly how far you go, and all your testing throughout the week, you're starting back off at the same position, so nothing unfamiliar.
Markus just coming into the second last turn now, approaching the last turn. This is going to be very close. Last turn entry onto the pit straight. This is where Mikko's going to... I'm not on board with Mikko, but I imagine he's coming out very soon.
Yeah, he's coming out now, just exiting the pits. Let's switch to Markus. I think Mikko's going to get him here quite comfortably. Markus doesn't get his first corner right as well, and you can see Mikko up the straight already, quite a gap. So he's going to have his work cut out for him.
Well, that's significant because Jackson pitted 1 lap earlier than Markus and dropped a significant amount of time. But gee whiz, he's now 6 seconds off of that, so he's lost 4 seconds. And But that's the same with Markus, who pitted a lap before Mikko, and Mikko's pulled out a bit of time.
Yeah, I mean, Mikko's stop in the pits was 10.3 seconds. He gained 3.6 seconds in the pit stop, stationary pit stop on its own. So, fantastic work from his pit crew there. Let's just make sure that he hasn't short-filled him.
Well, that's my question. 3.6 seconds. A massive difference. When they all should be taking on the same amount of fuel, I'd have to raise questions whether he...
Welcome back. I'm very sorry about the technical glitches there for everybody that was tuned in. Fortunately, we've literally just got the system back up and running now, and the race is already over. Brenton, do you want to just take us through what happened those last few laps there?
Well, just an amazing difference. Mikko Nassi just played it smart, didn't he? He was just saving his fuel behind Markus. When we thought that, to be honest with you, when Markus and Mikko just drew that bit of a distance away from our third place man Tim Jackson, and Mikko showing no aggression at all behind Markus. Tim Jackson pitted lap 19, Markus lap 20, and Mikko lap 21 by the time Mikko had pitted. And I think he could have actually gone another lap if it wasn't for traffic. He was gone, he was away. And comfortable winner by 6 seconds in the end over Markus Lendermann. So twice runner-up in the first two races for Markus, and twice winner for the first two races for Mikko Nassi. A fantastic job. And for the first time in only his second race on the podium, Timothy Jackson again, the Demidov Innovations Motorsports pink BMW. Third place, Woong Yong Kwon. Good result, 27 seconds back. How's this for a drive? Hung Ho Tao started 22nd on the grid, ended up 5th, so that's an awesome job.
That's an amazing job.
Happy. Yeah, fantastic job. Stephen Bocade in 6th, just ahead of Dick Lee, and last week's driver of the week, Jordan Kingham. I'd like to see where Jordan qualified this week, because I think he's put in another he's put another strong performance in, from 24th on the grid to 8th on the grid. Sorry, Jordan, not driver of the week this week. Charles Teixeira, our race leader early doors, 9th, and Paulo Martins in 10th, 48 seconds behind. Concoro 11th, and what is that noise? I do not know.
Yeah, sorry about that. Everything's going off today, I swear. I'm doomed.
Well, Mark Lang in the GT doesn't have to pit, which paid off for him. It's come in 16th, so that's a fantastic effort. Down to Mark Noble, 22nd, Marcus Wong, another notable 23rd, all the way down to our 35th player racer, Jake Burton, who don't think he actually finished the lap. He was involved in that first corner crash.
We've got Kevin sat down in the ready for interview channel. Let's just drag him up and have a very quick chat with him.
Charles is already here at the moment. I think that was our noise that came in. It was Charles the Sierra.
Indeed. Hi Charles, welcome to the comms box. I'm sorry we lost video feed towards the end of that race due to some technical glitches, but we did see all the action at the start. Just tell us what happened down that main straight from your point of view.
Oh, the big crash at lap 7 or something, right? I think.
That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was sandwiched in the middle. I don't know. I was trying to play the team game and let Markus catch up a little bit. I don't know who he was. Can't remember his name, but yeah, I was trying to let Markus catch up a little bit, and then suddenly they both got the draft on me, and I was in the middle, and I was like, all right, just keep it arrows straight down, and then suddenly this contact and Sky Road ditch. I was like, okay, right, that's predictable, isn't it? So.
Yeah, unfortunately. Sorry, Brenton. You go.
Looking at the replay right now, I'm on board with Fabio Gonzalez. There's a slight net cone. I think maybe Fabio could have held his line a bit straighter, but 3 wide going down the straight. That's where your problem's going to be right there. They just had a good run on you, both of them at the same time.
Yeah, it was quite unfortunate because I was quite surprised at my pace for today. So I got a pretty good setup again. So yeah, I was hoping to keep Mikko behind and maybe get a decent position for once. But things happen. So I'm not very happy with the result. But I have no idea where I finished. I ran out of fuel halfway down the lap in the last lap. So I was driving on map. I was driving on map 5 for like after the crash. So I managed to reach the end.
Well, no, 9th place, Charles, so a good, strong result there, mate. Considering you would be the dramas on lap 8 and also running out of fuel, so yeah, that's a good result.
Yeah, cheers, man. I mean, I tried my best, so that's the best that I could do today. Actually, no, first was possible, very possible.
So, in the sorry again, I see. So in the early laps, you weren't racing hard. You were trying to just work with the team and try and stay in draft. Is that what you would plan on doing, or you were just going hard?
I was, of course, in the corners I was pushing, but on the straights I was trying to let the guys at the back catch up a little bit so I can get Markus, past a couple of guys and up in the decent points position at the end. Unfortunately, I messed up my strategy a little bit and let them catch up too much, and that's what happens if you go 3 wide at Watkins Glen.
I think the classic layer always has the ability to do that, but it's great to hear you talking about the team championship. I mean, are the guys taking that just that little bit more serious this season? Do we want to see you guys, well, the rest of your team up there competing? From I was just looking at last season as well. It definitely seemed like more an individual drivers thing with I think it was a career just absolutely smashed the championship last season. So it'd be great to see if we can have a few-way fight up there.
Yeah, I was this season we have Markus and Yaron, so I think Singapore can do quite well this year. This season rather. So hopefully. No, I think we got off to a quite strong start, at the previous race. So, hopefully we continue that momentum. Today's result wasn't what was expected of our pace. I don't know where Yaron finished as well, so that's quite a disaster. But I think Markus did quite well. I had no idea where he finished too, because I was just playing with my fuel map for like about 20 laps.
Well, sadly for your team, Yaron didn't finish the first lap. He was out on lap 1 and there's a massive shunt at the first turn, and he was in amongst the middle of that, so he came 34th or second to last.
Oh, that was terrible. It's terrible, isn't it? Well, we gotta drive clean in the next race. I think I had a incident-free first race this season, so I was like, okay, let's keep it clean, and that happens. So it's quite unfortunate. That's racing. I don't know if it was a netcode error or not, because I think I did see this car moving around with it straight, so I don't know if it was netcode or it was...
Slight netcode error. If you have a look at the replay, slight netcode error, but 3 wide, it's going to be trouble.
Yeah, this track is it's kind of a roller coaster. I'm actually pretty sick. I vomited before the race, so like Watkins Glen makes me sick.
Yeah.
So hopefully.
That's commitment to the cause, though. You felt ill, and you still set yourself through that.
Yeah, hopefully. Well, we're looking forward to the next race. I think Singapore should get more points this season. I don't know what happened to Korea this season. They seem to be nowhere, so I don't know what's happened to them.
Well, last year's title winner Dongwoo Gang, and you're neither of them here tonight. They struggled last week, so I would hope that they get back involved with the series. But with pretty much committed to the McLaren and Dongwoo with a disappointing result last week, I hope they don't drop their bundle. I hope they find a way back in.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, hopefully next season Watkins Glen gets erased from the calendar. Hear that, Mark?
Well, unlucky today, Charles. Best of luck at Phillip Island next week, and it'd be great to see you bounce back.
All right.
Yeah,
cool.
Phillip Island next week.
Yeah, I like that track a lot, so hopefully we'll see what happens. We'll work hard in the week.
Cool. Thanks, mate. Enjoy your weekend.
Thank you very much. Good job, guys. Thank you.
Oh, you get my man, Mr. Jackson, up here.
Yeah, let's drag him up. Hi,
there
Tim.
He is.
Welcome to the box. Third place today, you must be happy with that.
Oh, ecstatic. Yeah, couldn't believe the start. It was chaos in behind, and then 5 laps later, there's chaos in front. Swerving through the traffic was the key, I think, at the start, and then getting into a groove.
Well, Jacko, congratulations. First Australian, I believe, on the podium in the Asian GT Series. Strong qualifying. After a strong performance last week as well, where you got a bit unlucky. You went off from 6th place, but the Demidov Innovations Motorsports BMW, that's a mouthful. Strong race. Your lap times were strong, but the pit stop, you seemed to lose a little bit of pit time there. Did you take more fuel on, or where was that?
No, I actually was expecting speeding in pit lane penalty. I shot up to about 81 kilometres, I think, and I backed right off down to about 50 to try and stop it, so I got lucky there, and I think I lost about 5-6 seconds in there.
A fantastic mid performance as well. Your lap times were strong. You were regularly doing 106.1s, I think. I'm just having a look at your lap times now. There was a stage there where the 2 litres were, you were gradually catching up 0.2 of a second here, 0.2 of a second there. You took it from about 4.8 seconds, I believe, down to 2.5 just as you were coming into the pit. So you certainly had the pace on them, but you gave yourself a chance for that win tonight. Strong third place. Or where do you see yourself for the rest of the series?
Oh, look, this is definitely a step up from last week.
A fantastic
I'd like to see
fantastic mid performance as well. Your lap times were strong.
You were in regards to the Asian series for me, and if I can consistently finish those top 10s, I'll be somewhere there at the end of the season.
Unfortunately, we lost the live feed with about 4 or 5 laps to go. But a strong performance there. Phillip Island next week. Have you had any chance to have any practice there at all?
No practice, but plenty of practice in the V8. So the track itself I know quite well, but with plenty of grip with the BMW, I'm sure it's going to be a very fun and exciting race. Yeah,
well, it just seems that AC might have disappeared. He's had computer problems all night, unfortunately, poor old AC. But mate, congratulations, a fantastic result. One of your commentators is very proud of your result, mate, and gave you a good rap during the race, and you deserve that good rap. But mate, fantastic, and hopefully that season will go on stronger and stronger. Is there anyone you want to thank at all?
Yeah, look, I'd like to thank Ivan Demidov from Demidov Innovations for sponsoring us throughout the last season and this season. Without that, these liveries and the bits and pieces that we pick up each week wouldn't be possible. So just shout out to Ivan, and thanks for the support, guys.
Mate, a fantastic result. We'll have a chat later on, you and I, Jacko, but that's really good. Like I said, congratulations, mate. First Australian to be on the podium in a GT Series race, and a good result for the Australians tonight after a strong qualifying performance, mate. So good on you, mate, and we'll chat later on.
No worries, thanks, guys.
Cheers.
Thanks, Tim.
That was Tim Jackson. Just see is AC here?
I am still here, sorry, just leaving you to it, just trying to get everything else caught back up and understand what we need to do to try and edit this race a bit later on.
Yeah, well, I'm going to get a Hung Ho. I don't think we've actually spoken to him before, so we'll drag Hung up here. Oh, wrong one. There we go. We've got our 5th place getter, Hung Ho Tao. Hopefully I've pronounced that properly for you, Hung. Congratulations on a 5th place, mate. 22nd on the grid up to 5th, so that was a fantastic result. Tell us a bit about your race.
Well, I reckon I got the right strategies, because I know it's going to be really, really bad at the beginning. I mean, they go 5 wide at the start-finish, at the start, so I just sort of take it very slowly and let them take each other out.
Well, did you get caught up in the mess at all at the first turn? It seemed to be right in the middle of it, 10th down to 23rd. You must have done something right to get through that mess and to eventually end up with a fantastic 7th place.
Yeah, I took it like I was very, very slow to navigate through because I saw all the big mess. I was a little bit lucky because I thought I got hit, but I didn't at the end.
Yeah, I'm just on board your car now, having a look at your replay, and yep, nice and slow and steady, and it's obviously paid them. So now, Hung, can you please correct me? Is this your first Asian GT race in the series?
No, it's for this season. This is the second race for the season for me because I got taken out like on the 22nd lap, and when I was like running top 10, and I was in the very first season since beginning. I just sort of didn't run it like since in the last season or so.
Okay, so I do apologise for that. So you've got a bit of experience in the series. So what are your expectations for this series then?
Well, I mean, I think the old guys were all good, but some of the newer guys just a little bit aggressive, a bit too aggressive, I would say. They probably want to sort of adjust a little bit because it's not a very short race, so they have time. They just don't need to do it in the first turn.
Well, just looking at the replay of turn 1, you actually made contact with an car. Did you not get any? It actually looks like pretty hard contact with Jake Burton's car. He's facing the. You've hit him pretty hard. Did you not get any damage at all?
I thought so too at the time because he just landed on me, but I got like nothing. I don't even get any incident point at all.
Yeah, that's worth having a look at your own replay on that if you've still got it. It's very hard contact. I'm surprised. Obviously, it's a massive netcode error there, but congratulations on that performance from 22nd on the grid. Were you disappointed with your qualifying, or was that your expectation?
I should be able to get another 3/10 to the maximum, so I won't be able to do it like. I reckon like at maximum like top 15, so I still will be in the middle of the mess. So I reckon it's actually better sort of toward the tail end, so I can see what's happening.
Now, excuse my naivety as well. Which team are you representing?
Greater China.
Greater China. Well, that seemed like it was a fairly strong result for Greater China tonight. So, hopefully, with the South Koreans' dominance last season, hopefully the Greater China teams like Australia and Singapore will certainly go up and challenge the South Koreans. When you guys, as a team, do you swap your setups during the week, or you go in individually and hope to get a good result?
Well, sometimes we do swap setups and we talk about like strategies if there is one, but we don't have any this season because last season we did talk about like when should we pit and how, like what kind of map we do, but this season is just like ride it out, like one stop and go bam bam bam.
Yeah, well, congratulations on the good result. Phillip Island next week, you had much experience there at all?
Quite a bit. I don't have great hope there. I reckon it's gonna maybe worse at the beginning, especially.
Well, mate, hopefully things will go well for you next. Thank you for tonight, and good job. 22nd on the grid, up to 5th, mate. So good job tonight, and good luck for the rest of the series.
All right, no worries. Thank you.
User was moved out of your channel.
How are we doing, AC?
Yeah, it's fine. I see Tobias has just popped up into the interview channel, so if we grab him up, we'll have a quick chat with him.
Good. Just before we do, just driver of the day. Normally, our driver of the day. Last week, Mikko Nassi, fastest in practice, started on pole, led from start to finish for a nice win. Did not get driver of the day. It was a bit rough for him, I guess, but tonight, I'm not sure you saw the whole race actually, but who would your driver of the day be?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think it's got to be a toss-up between himself. I mean, he played a great race. He didn't, he did what he needed to do in that first stint. He didn't try and do anything too rash. They built a lead up, him and Markus. He got his pit stop absolutely perfect, pulled away 3 seconds, and then went on to win the race. And then you've got Tim as well, who had such a great race, fought his way up through the pack and avoided all that traffic and to get on the podium as well. So I have to say you got to give it between those two drivers. I'm not sure who I would actually give it to at this point. Not seeing the end result, but yeah, I'll leave that to you.
Well, yeah, it's easy. I could jump on board Jacko's bus here, and he's my teammate outside of this series. But sorry, Jacko, no doubt I'm going to hear about it. I'd have to give my driver of the day to Mikko. Like, as I said last week, did everything he had to do and didn't get the driver of the day. Just played it smart, didn't he? He could have taken it to Marcus, and that could have caused a few issues, but he knew exactly what he was doing, just held in, saved a bit of fuel, pitted that extra lap later, and then he's come out and controlled the win in what could have been a very close race. So my driver of the day is definitely Mikko Nassi.
Right, let's. I was going to say let's hear from Mark, as he was also in that race before we grabbed Tobias up actually. And Mark, you tempted to do any more of these races again?
Oh yeah, if I'm home, mate, yeah, I will jump in and represent Australia.
Yeah, we
but
know
just on that, just on that big accident, I done the same as what Hang done. There was just cars everywhere, but I was virtually first gear and crawling. I was just dodging cars everywhere. That's how I made up all them spots. But no, that's racing. I didn't mind making them up.
Well, I mean, it'd be your home race next week, Phillip Island, if you could make it. So, we know you've done that a fair bit in the V8s as well. So, could be good fun.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get home for that one. That's for sure.
Right. Let's quickly grab Tobias up here then and have a quick chat with him. Obviously, caught up in that turn 1 crash as well.
User was moved to your channel.
Right, we're joined in the box now by Tobias. Not the day you were after today, I have to say, sir.
Hello guys. Nah, I think you're wrong. I mean, I still got the win there before with the V8s, but yeah, I think I would have need to have a bit more practice to get it myself into top 5, top 8, maybe qualifying. Studying a bit further back in the pack, 12th or something. Yeah, I was nearly through at this accident at this start, but then a car came from the right and had nothing to do. And yeah, towed back to the pits, and then I tried to chase them down from P30 something I was at this time, 15. So the positive is the car still had good pace, or I had good pace on the track with the car, and I'm looking forward to next week.
Yeah, Phillip Island. So you're going to carry on with the double headers then, so the V8s, and then onto the GT3s. So. We know Phillip Island's not one of your favourite tracks either, so
yeah, that's right.
Back-to-back anti-tracks for yourself.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. Maybe it's not that worse. Yeah. Oh, actually, I have to check if might be that I don't have time next weekend. So that would be maybe not that bad. So.
Well, what's the view like there, Tobias? You've started 12th on the grid. I'm not sure whether you'd be happy or not. We saw you working with your teammate Jake Burton with slipstreaming there, trying to improve your qualifying times, 12th and 14th for your team. After that first corner, mate, as you said, in the 30s, you were 32nd place. What's the view like from down there? It's probably not a view you're used to. And how do you go about passing that many cars? Is it show a bit of aggression or slow and steady? And what's the secret there to pick up your excellent position at the end there, considering what you went through?
Yeah, with the quality, Jack and I, we tried the best to get us a bit further up. Yeah, when I was back at the field, yeah, I closed quite fast to other guys because I was still then doing low 6s, and with slipstream here and there, I also get a 6-0. And yeah, even though they were a lap ahead of me, yeah, I just if I had the speed, I just went through. They did not block me or something, so quite nice of them. Better than just staying behind there, I guess. And even there were a few guys. I think I were able to pull them to the next one they were chasing. So it was really unfortunate for me that I was just a lap down there. So because I saw that I was faster than guys running on 4th, 5th. 6th, 7th place, but yeah, nothing I could do. 1 lap down. Live.
Yeah, well, fastest lap is 16.016 on lap 14. It shows you had some genuine pace there. Pitted lap 20. Do you think the late pit stop, like that's seems to be just Oh no, I think Jackson was 19, Marcus was 20, so it's about middle of the road. Your pit strategy, you happy with that, or could have you gone an extra lap?
Yeah, my pit strategy was pretty much done after the first lap hit. If this crash would have been somewhere lap 9 or 10, it all wouldn't have been that bad, I guess. Extra, it cost another 40 seconds, and I would have been still on the lead lap, then it would be fine. But yeah, I did not make many plans about the pit strategy. I just think quali was enough to measure around my fuel burn, so I quickly calculated how much I would need. And yeah, went for it.
No, well, a strong performance, mate, considering what happened on that first corner. Phillip Island next week, as we said, not a fan. What's your expectations there?
As I said, it might be that I'm not available next week on the weekend, so then in this case I wish you guys a good race there. I think in general it's quite a good racetrack. Maybe it suits me better with the GT3 cars than with the V8s because of the long, fast corners. That's usually not something that I'm good at in the V8. I need more of these stop-and-go tracks like Montreal, not these long left or right-handers. I really don't like. So, yeah, I think I will be then. I will be back in 2 weeks' time. So, wish you guys a good race there, everybody. And yeah, I'm happy to join this race this year. It's something completely different. I'm a bit afraid of jumping in an official race because it can easily end like this now. Because I definitely don't have the quali pace with the GT3 cars. And yeah, so it's good and fun here racing here.
And representing Australia, mate, doing it proud too. So good on you for that.
For sure. If I'm an Australian team, I'm representing Australia.
Good on you, Tobias.
Thank you.
The outside
mate,
European here is shaking his head in disgust. At least represent Europe. I don't know.
You get back and fix your computer AC. We've done the contract.
Is Fabio representing Germany? I don't know if we could make a team with him, but yeah.
No, you've got a contract, Tobias. It's been signed and sealed, mate. Sorry, you're locked.
Okay, I'll fine.
Good on you, mate. All right, well, thank you for that, mate. Enjoy next week off, and we'll see you in a few weeks.
Yeah, see you then. Cheers.
User was moved out of your channel.
Right then, fellas. Yeah, so just recapping on where we lost the feed and things like that. So it was just as approaching 9 laps to go, I think. And it looks like through all of the hassle we had, it wasn't broadcasting, so it's just jumped from that to us to basically the live interviews at the end. So yeah, again, apologies for everybody who tunes in and watches that and just thinks, oh, where's the last 10 laps? I need to know who wins. Yeah, apologies for that. Hopefully you've picked up on it through the interviews and whatnot's gone on. And yeah, unfortunately we had a little bit of a graphical driver error. It was flashing like mad and couldn't get anything, couldn't press anything, and resorted to pushing the button on the front. So it's never a good sign when it's like that.
No, never a good sign, but obviously it's in the technological day and age, you still have a few gremlins now and then. But yeah, to be honest with you, the race for Mikko was run, done and won after the pits, and I think the pits was with about 10 laps to go, so didn't miss anything there at all in regards to the top 4. I don't think we missed out on anything. Good finish between Stephen Bocade, Dick Lee and Jordan Kingham, 6th, 7th and 8th. Oh, actually, and Charles Sierra, 9th, and Paulo Morris, 10th. So between Bocade in 6th and Martins in 10th, just 7 seconds. So, yeah, a strong performance there. So hopefully all your glitches will be fixed up and you'll be right as rain next week.
Yep, hope so. I think next week it should be you're off and away, I think, aren't you? So be Liam in the commentary box and probably a guest commentator. So we'll have a little chat and see who we can draw in from the team.
Yeah, I'm away next week working in the middle of the night, long way away from here. So hopefully the commentator will do well next week. No doubt he will, and hopefully all the racing's fantastic at Phillip Island like it should be, as it has been for this series.
Indeed. Right, well, thank you for joining us again, Brenton. Mark, who gave us a little bit of onboard insight through that race. Thank you, fellas. From myself, Alex Simpson, the team here. Wish you all a good weekend, and we'll see you again next week.